Thanks for making the Locked On Ole Miss podcast your first listen every day. We're free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Hello, I'm Stephen Willis from the Locked On Ole Miss podcast, and I'm joined by Antwane Wells. I've been waiting for this interview for a couple of weeks. I've been really excited. Antwane, tell me, first of all, how is your transition to Ole Miss going?
It's been great, man. They came at me with open arms. It's real cool, laid back environment. I'm enjoying every second of it. And they're just taking care of me, man. I love it here, man.
So, last year at South Carolina, you had a little bit of a foot injury, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So the stats wasn't what you wanted to be. You ended up transferring to Ole Miss. Are you in good shape? Are you good to go? What's the timeline in the situation there?
So we're currently coming up on the tail end of everything, with surgery and recovery and stuff like that. So now it's just a process of, getting my feet back under me and just getting back to, moving correctly and stuff like that. It was a Jonesboro fracture, I had to go back in there, get a little bone graft and get a screw, but now everything is moving real smooth now. So we coming up on the tail end of things, and I should be back moving around, pretty soon.
Do you think it'll happen before the end of the spring, or are they just shutting you down for the whole spring?
I think I'm gonna shut it down, for the whole spring, and just look forward to, coming into camp and some workouts, and just going back out there with the guys around that time.
Well, when you came out of high school, you ended up at James Madison, and James Madison at that point was a legit FCS type program and all of that. But you were an explosive player that obviously moved on to South Carolina and did really big things. How were you that under recruited out of high school?
Man, just my situation, before I went to the high school that I was at that actually got me recruited by JMU and stuff like that. I was at a smaller high school where there wasn't really a lot of, big time players coming out of there. And once I did, go to a school that, produced a lot of players, I had a hard time getting my grades up because I really didn't have no motivation. I never knew what football could take me, so that's why I try to be hard on my nephews and some family members, like stay on your grades, man, because it's really important, especially, coming up and trying to go into college and stuff like that. So I really wasn't, paying attention to grades, and I really wasn't, going to different camps and stuff like that. But, so that's why I had to also go to Fork Union Military Academy to basically just get my grades right and get my feet back under me, get my mind back right, and they helped out a lot. So that's originally where I went before I went to JMU, just to get my grades right. And once I went there, it definitely taught me a lot, and that's how I ended up there.
You obviously were a standout at JMU. What told you there's like, hey, I could go to South Carolina in the SEC, and I not only would I belong, I would be elite. When did that click?
That clicked in high school once I knew where football could take me, because I was surrounded by a lot of players who was getting big time offers, and they were like big time recruits. And I felt like I was right there with them, but my situation just wasn't the same as them with the grades and stuff like that. So I always knew I had it in me. I just had to wait my turn, and once I had the shot to take it, I took it, and I just took off with it. And that's why I go in there and just, try to, had that same mindset, since I was young, and just go in there and try to dominate everything.
You played in actually one of the weirder games that I remember seeing on TV the last couple of years, and that was the game against Tennessee, the orange helmet game that all of a sudden y'all came out and it was like playing with Bo Jackson and Tecmo Bowl. You could do no wrong. Talk about going into the middle of that game and it's like, we're kind of playing this on easy mode tonight. What's going on?
Yeah, man. So that week of preparation, we knew that we didn't have nothing to lose, and they had a lot to lose, and you know, around that time, offense wasn't really clicking. We was trying to do a lot of different concepts that we really wasn't used to. We was trying to do a lot of, big time plays and trick plays and stuff like that. And then as an offense, we just came together one day and we was like, look, man, we just gonna go to install one, and we gonna just try to beat them play by play, player by player, and we gonna see what we can do. And we ran simple concepts, simple plays, and we was just on that night. And once we got on, we didn't get off, and it was a great night. It was like a video game out there. It did not feel real.
Yeah, you're sitting there watching this. Is like, wait, I thought Tennessee was supposed to be good. That type situation because y'all were
Yeah.
doing whatever you wanted.
We just was out there having fun. Like that's what we told ourselves. We said they got everything to lose. We don't have nothing to lose. I mean, why not go out there and just throw the ball around and just throw it up and let our players make the plays? And that's what we did, man. I'm gonna always remember that night for sure.
Yeah, and the next night, the next weekend going to Clemson, you also had a fairly
Yeah,
big game that one. That was
yeah.
probably pretty big because it was what 8 years or 9 years in a row.
Yep, yep. That one was crazy too because I never knew how big the Clemson and South Carolina rival was until I actually got there and I seen how the fans was acting and I seen the national championship up in the rafts and stuff. I was like, oh my gosh, like this game is real. And then just coming off a big game against Tennessee with that confidence and that swagger that we had, we felt like we could beat anybody. We felt like we can go out there on a Sunday and play somebody. So we was just we felt like we was them guys, so we just played up to that level. And it was still a tough game because them guys didn't give up. I think the score was like 31-30 or something like that. So it was still a tough game, but I think we wanted it more than them that day. So that was a great game also for sure.
And we'll just gloss over last year. We'll call that a wash year, and you decided to transfer to Ole Miss. What made you decide to transfer, and what made you decide to transfer to Ole Miss?
So what really made me decide to transfer was once I transferred to South Carolina, I came there to play with Spencer Rattler and a few other pieces, around that offense, So once some guys left, I felt like I was gonna have a hard time, trying to build with the new quarterback, especially going into I wanted to be my last year. I wanted to be, not no disrespect to no quarterback or whatever, but I wanted to be with a quarterback who's actually experienced in the SEC and can actually, control the offense. And also, I want to win, man. I can't I don't like losing. I'm a competitor. I'm a fierce competitor. So I want to go to a winning program, and I also want to be around some guys who can push me to be better. And I feel like that was the reason I came here also because they had key pieces on the offense like Trey Harris and Jordan Watkins. That's gonna make me better. I can compete with them guys, and then we also got guys coming from Tennessee and Alabama. Them guys they also gonna help me get better also. So I can't wait to get out there, man. It's gonna be great. But that's the main reason I came here also.
Yeah, you coming into the room that is potentially the best wide receiver room in all of college football. You mentioned a couple of the names. A couple other players are going to be coming in as well. So what do
hmm
you think how do you fit into that room? How do you think you fit into that room?
I feel like I fit in very well. I feel like I bring
Hmm.
a different type of, game than Trey and Jordan. Jordan's like a speedster. Trey is like a big time throw it up, go get it. And I feel like I fit in as in with screens and crossers and, I can take it deep too. I feel like I can do, a little bit of everything, So I feel like I'm real versatile and they can throw me anywhere in the offense. So I feel like I fit pretty well in the offense.
Or do you think they'll use you inside or outside or be some kind of a combination like they're doing with Caden Lee right now?
I think it'd be some. I think it'd be some type of combination. I feel like that's what I feel like I bring to the table. I'm real versatile. I can play on the outside. I can play on the inside. I feel like you put me at running back. I think I run real good with the ball in my hands. So I feel like we probably do a lot of things to give me the ball quick. And use me across the middle and stuff like that. So I haven't really dove deep into it yet because I'm not out there. So they just working out with what they got. But I think once I get out there, I definitely have a better picture of what I'll be doing in this offense.
And before I let you go, how big of a deal is Trey Amos versus Trey Harris?
Oh man, every day it is. I never seen nothing like this. Every day they're going at it. Some days Amos will get them, some days Harris will get them. But I can't wait to get out there and get that too. But them boys they going at it every day, man. I see them boys getting better every day. So I can't wait to see them boys on Saturday also.
And the other cornerbacks that are going in the one-on-ones, obviously the receivers. Anybody jump out at you real quick?
BT. You know, I played against him that year we beat Tennessee. You know, it's always funny, you know, talking to him. I be joking on him how I did them boys. But BT standing out also. He's out there. He out there putting in work too, you know.
All right. Thanks again for making the Locked On Ole Miss podcast your first listen every day. We're free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Antwane Juice Wells, thank you so much for coming on the show, and good luck with your recovery, and get ready for a fall that has a chance to be really fun, man.
You're right. Yes, sir. Can't wait. Appreciate you, man.